All right, y'all. I'm gonna start this video out by saying it is raining, so I'm in my shop. The back noise, you could hear it on the tin roof. You just have to bear with me. Today I'm gonna talk about tackle storage. It's a big deal. It's getting more expensive to even buy a tackle box, but you wanna fight the rust off of your hooks. Keep your tackle clean, organized, and it's something that we all face. You hate to open up your jig box after taking the winter off and it's all rusted out. So I've used a bunch of these. This is gonna be an unbiased opinion, and hopefully this will help you purchase the correct box in the future for what you're looking for. I have the Plano Edge series. These were new last year. I've bought several of them. Impressed with some, not so much impressed with the others. I'm gonna go through them. So for this one, this is the one that has the prongs sticking up. You can use for crankbait, anything. I use it for traps. They just simply press in and it holds. So far, so good on this one. It's a little bit scattered. I haven't reorganized it, but there's not much rust going on in here. I am pleased with this box. It stayed in the boat all year last year, and I think that was a pretty good test on it. So for this one, I would give it a thumbs up. One thing I will note is the Edge series, they are a little bit pricey, but they're rugged and they're well built, and they've got a label system, which I haven't used here. I will move on to another Edge series, and this is the Jig Chatterbait box. Again, stayed in the boat all year last year. I've got jigs on one side, jackhammers on the other, and I'm very pleased with this one. I've used a bunch of other boxes in the past with jigs, and you lose so much money so quick because one gets a little bit of rust on it and the whole box goes down. The one that I am not so happy with, which I thought I would be, and that's only because I found a better one. That is the terminal tackle. As you can see, it's empty. I had it full for a while, and then I ended up transferring everything over to the other one. The box is open, which, I mean, I can't tell you if they rust or not because I didn't have it in there for a long enough time. But the weight system, it's kind of cheap made, and it doesn't want to, I don't know, they don't want to stay closed for you. And the sizing is a little bit off on the weights. And then the boxes, there's just, I don't know. This could be for some people, but for $50, this one wasn't for me. The next one is their Deep 3700 series. And I have this one full of just crankbaits. I mean, everything, I just started grabbing them out of my other box, and every time I get done, I put one in here. There's no organization in it all, but I can tell you that there is no rust in it also, and I couldn't be more happy with this one, and I will definitely be buying more of these right here. This is the Edge series 3700 Deep. Definitely worth the money there. And then they have the spinnerbait box, and everybody knows that the spinnerbaits are your next obstacle after jigs. You can have a box go south and you lose every single spinnerbait in it. And I have tried several different ones. And this one so far, you still see a little bit of oxidation on the blades. Some hooks are rusting, and I try to watch it and pick them out so that it doesn't spread. But for the most part, the organization is really nice in here. I've got colored blades here, whites. You know, you can pull it over like in a closet where you've got your clothes organized. You can pull it over, and you can organize your spinnerbaits by blade size, color, however you choose. And I really do like that part about it. So I would semi-recommend this one. It still doesn't impress me on the oxidation of the blades, but that's very hard to battle. So that is the Edge series, and like I said, for the money, it's hard to justify. But some of them I really like. Some of them I could probably done without. So I'll move on to the Bass Mafia. A lot of people are using these. This is just a regular Bass Mafia 3700 series box. And for the money, I couldn't be more happy with these. I've got these all in my boat, and I really do like them. This is a Whopper Plopper box. There's not a bit of rust in there. And I've got a bunch of these and they hardly ever rust. I do add, they don't have the label system like the Plano Edge, but I do have a label maker. And then I just put a label on the front to help me keep them organized. This is the smaller one. And this is what I keep most of my treble hooks in. And I've got the treble hooks labeled with the same label maker to kind of just keep them organized. This is one trick that I have figured out that I was onto before. I'm sure Plano beat me, but this is just a silicone packet. And what this is, it sucks the moisture out of the air. So anytime you buy new shoes, anything, there's these things in there. It says, do not eat, throw away. But I keep them and I put them in my tackle boxes. I have several tackle boxes with, you know, a bunch of these in here. And what's funny is on the Edge series, the moisture wicking, I mean, everything is vented. They have a way for all these compartments to come back together to keep the airflow. But this right here is their moisture wicking. And if you open it up, it is simply the same exact silicone packet that you get out of everything else. So that is what they're using for their moisture wicking. You can buy these online for, I think, 100 pack of them for like $10. So if you don't want the Plano Edge series, at least put those in your box to help cut down on rust. The Bass Mafia, this is for jerk baits, or I see a lot of people put top water in them. It's a weird shape and it doesn't fit in the boat exactly right. So for that part, I have to take a few points away. But as far as organization goes, you can't beat it. I mean, really, you don't have to fight the jerkbait hooks. You can put 2 jerkbaits per slot for the most part. But like I said, the shape is very awkward and it's kind of hard to store. Other than that, I would highly recommend this. This comes to the blade coffin. So this is Bass Mafia's version for their spinnerbait, jig, chatterbait box. I own 3 of these and they're all 3 on the shelf. Very good design, very good idea. You got the individual pouches, you know, you pop open, put your spinnerbait in, but all 3 of these rusted out on me. And I was very disappointed because these are, you know, they're pretty expensive, but I could not keep the rust out of them. And I let every bait I use dry out before I put it in the box, just to fight rust, because I know how hard it is to battle. But I have to say I don't recommend the blade coffin. The deep crank coffin, I've had this for a very long time. Holds all your deep crankbaits. I recommend it. It's there is no rust in here. It's very well made. You're not gonna break it. The only bad thing is if you ever turn it upside down, you have a mess. But again, very bulky, very hard to store. It doesn't fit in with your 3700 series. So the only thing I have against this is the size and the bulkiness, but organization-wise and rust-wise, I recommend it. That brings us to the Bass Mafia terminal tackle. And if you remember the Edge series, I said I found a better one. Well, this is the one that I have to recommend. Just from the hook storage, you know, you can put I've got 6/0 hooks here, 5/0, and your straight shank, and I've got 5, 4, 3, and then I got my offset shank, and I've got same thing, 5, 4, 3, and then your weight. Now, it does come with a plastic slider on all of these, and I did remove it because it was very difficult to get off, to say the least. So I just removed it, and I've got the silicone packets stuck in each one of these by my hooks to assure that the hooks are getting the most protection, because that's where your rust is going to set up first. And then you got places for snaps, rattles, worm rattles, and then beads. And then you've got your swivels. So it seals really nicely. It's got the O-ring around it, which most Bass Mafia products do. But this is the most recommended I've found for terminal tackle. I've used the old Plano. There's no rust protection in them at all. Super inexpensive, and they work great. I used them for years. But this right here is the way to go. And then I found this year, I found the KVD worm bags, but you'll be surprised at what I've got in here. This is probably the #1 hardest bait to keep organized in a boat other than just throwing them in a bag or whatever. So when I found this and tried it out and seen that it worked, I found a solution to something here. This is made for 40 packs of worms. But if you look, I've got my swim baits in there. And they simply, I mean, you just leave them in the package and they go in. This is the 3.3. And then on this side, I have the 2.8. But I have tried it and it works with 3.3, 3.8. You get to the 3.8 and 4.3s together, it kind of gets a little bit crowded, but otherwise, any other size, you know, between 3.8 and lower, the organization, I've got, I think, 20 packs of swim baits in here. And so this is really, really key. I was super excited when I figured that out would work, because I've tried several things, as I know everybody else has. You hear that's the number one thing, like, where do I keep the swim baits? Well, I think I found it, and these are very inexpensive also. So I hope that helps you in your future purchase of a tackle box. And let me know in the comments if you found anything that works better, any other ways. I appreciate your time, and we'll see y'all.